My name is Stephen Cox. I've worked for the government for about 28 years. I started out at the Naval Space Command in Dalgan, Virginia. Then I moved back to Florida, which is where my family is. And I've been supporting NASA and GSDO there. I've worked a little bit on the ELV side, expendable launch vehicles. My primary experience is in communications and control rooms. So to talk a little bit about the Launch Control Center, the building was constructed in finished construction about 1965. It was built for the Apollo program, so it's been supporting launches ever since then. It was used for the Apollo program and then moved on and repurposed for the shuttle program, and GSDO is now in the process of re-outfitting the Launch Control Center to support SLS, Orion, and the GSDO program. So overall, the functionality that's inside the Launch Control Center is we support launch operations. That's our primary function. But as part of that, each launch is more of a campaign. So we have testing that we do, integrated testing we do, simulation, training, so we train the crew. So we primarily do that in 4 firing rooms. We have firing rooms 1, 2, 3, and 4. The firing room 1 supports the SLS Orion GSDO program. Firing room 2 is set up to be a verification validation set. So we write the software in firing room 3, we verify and validate it in firing room 2, and then we move it on to firing room 1 for use to do testing. Firing 4 is set up for the center to support multi-use. So we have it broken into 5 different areas where we can support multiple user customers, whether that's commercial customers, other NASA customers, or NASA itself. So that's primarily how the control rooms are set up. Each area of support for communications or command and control has back support rooms. So we have other laboratories and support rooms, as well as administrative office space to support the personnel that are in the building. We're building the command and control system to support the vehicle. That is done out of firing room 1, and it is designed to support SLS Orion. It doesn't support other programs. The commanding is done through there. We have control of the vehicle while it's on the ground. When it clears the tower, it basically switches to JSC. If there's a reason to abort or come down in the Atlantic or on recovery, it turns back over to GSDO program to support. So the primary function of the GSDO program is to support SLS and Orion. We are at Kennedy Space Center, and my job is to do operations and management of the Launch Control Center, LCC. That function has a couple of main parts, and the first main part is for the GSDO program to support SLS Orion. The primary launch team and the one doing the commanding of the vehicle will be in firing room 1. There is a firing room 2 that is used for verification and validation. During launch, that will be used for a support launch team. That's a support role where they can work engineering issues that may come up during the launch. Firing room 3 is development activity where they write software, and firing room 4 is a multi-use function. That multi-use function was designed around being able to support customers of different categories, from commercial customers to other NASA customers or other government agencies. We've already had one customer in there, Resolve, who came and worked out of that control room as well. The idea is that they would come in support of that room, build up a room for use for their operation for either a week or a few weeks or a few months, and support that operation out of there, and then maybe break down and go, another customer might come in. There's 4 different areas, 4 different control rooms, plus there's the tiered area that you would see where the launch director sits. So that's the main use for the firing rooms in the LCC. So Resolve is a NASA program that's got a little rover involved. We have supported 2 different main operations for them. The last one we did out of firing room 4. They came in, set up the control room. They were there for about 9 months. They had an interesting concept of how they do operations. They have 3 different control rooms, and each one of them, I believe, can do commanding. And so we had one of those set up. We brought in data to them, and they were able to get voice, video, and data over a single line. They set up their console, had around 30 people in there to support that operation. And they had monitors up where they could see the other teams as they worked. Worked very well, and it was very efficient and inexpensive to get them set up.